off early in the show because there's no way
African Brambada.
The
any
third
culture can take
perspective.
that from us. Yo. We started hip hop, bro. It been hijacked from us by people with money, other cultures, white cultures, other cultures, hijacked to call it hip hop and all that shit. But you cannot deny that black culture started this thing. And the most dominant motherfucking music culture, genre it is hip hop. Then you can back it up with R&B. Either way, black.
Actually
You know,
do hip hop. Like if you haven't really been through like hard things, it's no way you can really like hip hop because hip hop is unique.
that's funny.
You know, like not saying that the other race don't go through things. However, hip hop is a different energy that it brings because they got more like emotion. They like feel what they're saying more because they actually been through those experiences. They, you know, hip hop in another race, they hip hop won't have the same effect as this race of hip hop because it's like they want to be able to not manipulate but play the role of a hip hopper.
True.
However, there's really no way that you're on the same level when it comes to it because you got to think about African Americans was born and raised around hip hop. It doesn't, you know, it's a cup of tea. Hip hop, I don't like the hip hop awards. I don't, no disrespect to that culture. It's just like I don't see how you will win because you're not really hip hop. You're not hip. Like you're like just like a hop maybe. You're not like hip.
Like they used to call it rap back then, but it was rap because it was like
it was underground.
And you know what it is? You know what it is?
More like a vocal.
Yes, that's what I'm about to say. It's the voice. You giving like and then hip hop give like yeah.
But with it's starting with at one point it was starting to curve into hip hop. So you starting to hear some rappers on, you know, pop stations.
Mm-hmm.
And
it's getting blurred, yeah.
That's when it started getting like
where we at?
Yeah, it's starting to get
is it hip hop? What are we doing? Anyway.
That reminds me of
now
that
we going back
right?
to now we starting to trend back
to the roots of hip hop.
Because certain people like Doja Cat, for example, she talking about retiring already, and it's because she's not making songs that she want to make. She admit that she's not making songs that she really want to make.
That's
kind of like
that's depressing.
It's almost sound like she's being controlled.
That's crazy.
Okay, by who? Who's doing it? Well, who benefits and profits off our bickering and our division? Who's like follow the money? I don't know their names, but if you follow the money, you go high enough, you start to see, okay, this is an industry. Okay, let's take rap music. Let's take same people who own the labels own the prisons. So, literally the same people? Literally the same people who own the labels own private prisons. So, you know, it seems really kind of suspicious, if you want to say that word, that, you know, the records that come out are really geared to push people towards that prison industry.
But they didn't make you write those lyrics.
It's not about making somebody write the lyrics. It's about being there as guardrails to make sure certain songs make it through and certain songs don't. Certain flavors are exposed on the record. You know, some records are made by committee, meaning record company guys sit around and tell the artists, this is hot, say that, do this. We're gonna have this guy write the lyrics. we're gonna have that. So the narrative is really kind of structured and really made into what the record company want the record to be, and what a lot of artists are frustrated with this kind of music making. A lot of people feel like they're being controlled by the label. This is how they do it, telling you what songs to sing, what hooks to do, what songs. You can do your song, that's fine, that's an album cut. But the single is what we all say is the single. So you have, the record company pushing the narrative, so this to me is in somewhat, some social engineering going on here to make sure those prisons stay full. Now, there's a lot of dots to connect to make that happen. But I'm just giving you a broad example of how people at the top can manipulate what's going on with the people who are bickering and fighting. I just gave you a music example, but there's examples of race.
Can I cross-examine this theory?
Of course you can cross-examine, of course.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Okay. Is that the kind of stuff in rap lyrics works as a funnel to get people inspired to do the kind of things that would get them in prison, right? Like, for example, writing a lyric, "fuck the police."
Yeah, I mean, writing a lyric, "fuck the police,"
might get somebody arrested and sent to prison.
Yeah, I gotta be careful because
the fact that everybody know that Ice Cube, I love Ice Cube. Right? Coming up, he was my favorite rapper. I still to this day think he's the best rapper who ever wrote rhymes. And I can debate anybody with any rapper with that. He got the credentials to back that up for me to argue that, right? And I always did it all through high school, all my life. It always had a debate of Ice Cube. I always supported him, bro. Anything he wrote, I brought. Anything he rapped, I brought. Anything he produced, I brought. I didn't want no motherfucking copies. I literally went to the motherfucker. What was the name of that joint? Mills or some shit?
Kip Mills Music.
Kip Mills joint. I used to go to motherfucking Kip Mills and stand in fucking line.
FYE.
And wait for Ice Cube. See, I
They
didn't
had
want no
Kip
copies.
Mills, FYE. They had a couple of
all
them.
those joints. And my point was to make sure that I'm supporting the artists that I like, right? I didn't want to. I made sure I didn't get copies. I started that from the beginning, from NWA. I didn't get copies. I went and got them. I went and paid for my own shit. Once I heard that shit,
Had your cassette.
hell yeah. Once the nigga showed me, heard me, I heard that shit. I'm like, damn. I didn't want no copies. I'm gonna get my own. Cause I support that. Whenever I support a nigga, bro, I'm gonna make sure I support him. I don't want to just go behind the back when he ain't getting nothing for it. You know what I'm saying? So
bootleg,
I always supported him.
Get that bootleg stuff.
So me personally, anything he done, I got all the way up to his movies too. And I support him, you know. He's like a motherfucker that did a lot for our culture. I'm not gonna bullshit you about that. But lately, politically, he on the other side of what I agree with. Jay, right?
Well, lately.
Yeah. So he puts him on the side of me. I gotta take. I'm not one of the motherfuckers that gonna be just because that's my man, right? I had to make it clear I don't fuck with the bullshit he doing that. He's a jackass for that. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm at. You can check out Hoodview Politics every Tuesday. I think Ice Cube, Jay-Z, Dr. Dre, all these people back in the day, Master P, anybody doing with Bad Boys, I personally think they have a hand and responsibility in the black culture, what's going on today, with kids killing kids, bro. And I personally think rappers that got away with glorifying the gangster life, glorifying the hustling,
Death Row,
Ice Cube, and all these people are not getting held to. Don't remind you, I fuck with Ice Cube, bro. That's my nigga. I think he's the best rapper ever. But on the flip side, he gotta be held accountable for his rhymes, bro. he can't sit there and say, all right, he can't talk Ariel around. I got a 9, a Glock. I'm about to pop this nigga head. But when that's happening in the black culture, you don't have no responsibility for that. That's bullshit to me, bro.
You know, that goes back to Cardi B, when people telling her that she should be an idol for children, you know, and she was saying like you should be your own idol for your own child, you know.
That's different. That's the Barkley argument.
Because
But you got to think about it. We have eras of this. So in the 80s, 90s era, there was them, and Death Row and Bad Boy and this and that. And then in 2000s, it started to become, you know, more, it was starting to become, it's starting to dip. But then now we coming back to the Glocks, to the fucking bitches and slapping them.
That's not the way to go.
And killing people.
That's not the way to go. I will say
we're going back to where we was 20, 30 years ago.
But it's my problem is, okay, Snoop Dogg, right? He is now making money with white ladies. What's her name? The white bird. He do movies. Do
Marcus Table.
Yeah.
You gotta remember, back in the 90s, he had a murder charge. Remember, he was beaten.
Yeah, murder was the case that they gave him.
Yeah, murder was the case that they gave him. And you know,
exactly.
Diddy, same way.
He glorified that. His next motherfucking CD was about that.
Right.
You feel me?
You know,
CDs before that was about glorifying street activity. But my problem with these rappers, don't get me wrong, I fuck with all of them because I put all that shit.
Here's the point.
But they glorified it, and now at this point in stage in their life, they acting like they ain't had nothing to do with it.
Here's
now,
another
they got
point.
kids killing kids now in the streets
and
off of listening to these music. Exactly.
So that's Master P's brother, C Murder. He's in jail for life. For those you know, been under the rock, he's in jail now for life for killing somebody. You know, for killing somebody.
You know, it's wild.
And they trying to say, well, he's trying to say that he didn't do it. That's what everybody say when you don't.
And it's not to say like the rapper shouldn't rap about those things. I will also say, you know, it's like it comes to a point where it comes to a point where the child itself should know not to actually go out and do those things as well. I wouldn't all the way blame the rapper. However, I will say your words and the energy, just like that other rapper that rap real negative, that rap real bad. What's his name? Is it the Young Boy one? He raps really, really bad, like really, really negative, really, really just not good music. It's so negative, you know, and it's unfortunate because a child could listen to that and be relating to what he's saying and start doing.
Today's rapper?
Yeah, it's a rapper that raps. Yeah, really. A lot of people are going through it.
At one point, Boozy was like that. Every time you turn around, who's your favorite rapper? Lil Boozy. Now, when he came out of jail some time ago, he said he announced that he looks at life at a different perspective. And he's not, and he didn't want to be in the streets no more. Now all of a sudden, there's no more Boozy fans like that. And then when he came out with an album, I think it was last year, it ain't make no numbers.
Because you know they liked him in that down place. You know, people that's like in a down negative place, they enjoy other people that they can look up to encourage them and to influence them to be in that down place. Like there's no uplifting, there's no like motivation. All of there is, this person stepped on my shoe, it's time to go pop, you know, all this like negative stuff. I'm about to go get this and take care of them. They about to, you know, like why are we first why are we even promoting anything like this to our young folks in the first place? Like, why is this something that you would want to promote to younger generation? This world is already chaotic, and y'all want to put out music that these kids already been. First of all, let's go back to this COVID situation. They've been cooped up in the house. This generation of kids is kind of screwed a little bit because they've been cooped up in the house, annihilated from the planet, from the world, from socializing, all types of stuff. People got sick, children got sick, parents got sick. The world is a mess. And then you music people that's out here making music, you have to be mindful of these children that's going through things that they can't really express. So if you kids just keep, every time I listen to your music, it's certain people that I don't listen to because they so negative, and each song I listen to is depressing. So I don't even listen to them.
It's a balance, right? Because I do appreciate the fact that we had our chance to tell our story.
Of
right?
course.
And then it's like a double-edged sword, for real.
You know,
Like,
you don't do too much of one thing. Balance it out. But okay, you know what? You can make half your thing like, you know, I was in the mud, boom, boom, but you got out. You know, like something to like motivate these children to be like, you know.
It's not even that. It's like if you came up in an era where you sell that time, that was a tough time in our Black history. Right?
Yeah, it was.
So if you was in that you could tell your story, right? And by us telling our story on rhymes, it got people like NWA sanctioned and all that by telling your story of what's going on in the hood. I applaud that, right? But you can't then on the flip side act like that is not contributing to glorifying gangster activity or selling dope activity or robbing people, or you can't tell me that you can't separate those two.
It's definitely a role model. Like
an Ice Cube or Snoop Dogg that's out in the limelight now and just forgetting about all that, acting like they don't contribute to none of this. That to me is some bullshit, bro.
The third perspective.